What's going on? Welcome back to the channel for another video. So everyone knows the names Ansel Adams, Annie Leibovitz, and Richard Avedon. The thing is, while those names echo in every photography classroom and YouTube tutorial, there were others. Photographers who literally changed the game, but got none of the glory. So today we're talking about 5 photographers who were groundbreaking and somehow they got ghosted by history, while more known photographers found success standing on the shoulders of people that no one ever talks about. So before Robert Capa became Robert Capa, there was Gerda Taro. And I know that for most people, that name doesn't really hit like it should. But the thing is, Gerda Taro helped invent modern war photography. She was out there in the 1930s in the middle of the Spanish Civil War, camera in hand, bullets flying, documenting the human cost of conflict. And she wasn't tagging along with Capa. They were equals. She taught him just as much as he taught her. She was also the very first female photojournalist to die in combat. Let that sink in. The first ever. And yet here we are today complaining because our camera overheated after 10 minutes of 4K 60. Meanwhile, Gerda's like, cool story, bro. Her work had motion, emotion, and chaos, but always a sense of truth. With Gerda Taro, the way we visually understand war, the grit, the emotion, the storytelling, might not exist the same way that it does. Then there was DeCarava. This guy, he didn't just take photos, he whispered them. He documented black life in Harlem during the 1950s, but not with the usual outsider documentary style. He was from there, he lived it. And because of that, his photos, they weren't screaming for attention. They were quiet, poetic, and full of rhythm. It's like every one of his photos had a Coltrane solo built into it. Shadow, texture, tone, pure visual jazz. And through it all, he wasn't trying to make it cool. He was just trying to make it real. Which, by the way, is the complete opposite of just about every gritty street photographer on Instagram with a $4,000 camera and a 10-stop ND filter trying to make it look deep. DeCarava changed the game for tone and shadow. He used darkness not as absence of light, but as presence of soul. That's why his work hits so hard. It's not flashy, it's honest. Which brings me to Claude Cahun. Now, long before selfies were a thing, Cahun was out here dismantling gender norms and identity politics in the 1920s. They were creating surreal self-portraits, dressing as a man, a woman, and everything in between, exploring who they were as well as who they weren't. Meanwhile, the rest of the world was like, wait, what's an f-stop? Claude was literally saying, I'm redefining identity itself through photography. They were surrealists before surrealism had an Instagram hashtag. Cahun's work laid the foundation for modern self-expression and conceptual photography. So yeah, next time someone says, you can't make art about yourself, just show them Claude's work and say, watch me. So let's get a bit weirder now. Meet Miroslav Tichý. Now, this dude, he lived in a small town in Czechoslovakia. He avoided society and built his cameras out of actual trash. I'm talking cardboard, rubber bands, toothpaste tubes, literal garbage. And somehow, his photos are hauntingly beautiful. They're soft and dreamlike, almost like you're remembering a dream from 20 years ago. Bro, what lens are you using? Oh, this? It's a 50mm serial box with a toothpaste cap adapter. His imperfection was his style. And honestly, that's the kind of energy that we need more of in photography. Tichý reminds us that gear doesn't make art, vision does. He used what he had and he turned his world into something magical. Meanwhile, we're over here arguing about whether Canon colors are better than Sony's colors. And now let's talk about Tsuneko Sasamoto, Japan's first female photojournalist and one of the most underrated photographers ever. She started during World War II, photographing figures, artists, and cultural change, all while being one of the few women in an industry run entirely by men. She had grit, she had grace, and she kept shooting well into her 100s. Yeah, over 100 years old, still taking photos. Most of us, we can't even make it through a full edit without complaining about Lightroom lag. Her photography wasn't about fame or ego. It was about documenting humanity. She saw her country evolve, break, and rebuild, and she captured all of it with empathy. Sasamoto proved something that we should all remember, and that is, photography isn't about seeing, it's about enduring. These 5 photographers, they didn't have YouTube tutorials. They didn't have presets or sponsorships or affiliate links. They had passion, perspective, and persistence. They changed photography by being authentic. So if you take away anything from this video, make it this. You don't have to be famous. You don't have to have perfect gear. You just have to see something that nobody else does. And you have to have the guts to show it to the world. That is what made these 5 photographers groundbreaking. And that's what will make you unforgettable. So drop me a comment below and let me know what photographer you think deserves more love. Remember to smash that like button, subscribe if you're new, and click the bell to be notified of more photography videos. Also visit my website, jeff-gresham.com, to pick up my Lightroom presets pack, as well as my upcoming photo prints. And until next time, get out and shoot. And remember, you don't need permission to create, just guts. And I'll see you in the next video.